I received an interesting video this week. Somebody sent me a video and it was a report from about 5 years ago. And it's a BBC report on when the Bible was translated into the Jamaican language. Here's a quick clip of that report now.
Critics say it's damaging to the dignity of the scriptures. Our religious affairs correspondent Robert Piggott has been hearing both arguments.
In at the same time that John, Zachariah boy picnic, did they in the desert, I get one message from God.
Him go all around Jordan and preach say,
The Gospel of St. Luke as you've never heard it before. The Spanish town Tabernacle is hearing the Christmas story in the language of the street. The Patois, they say, is their mother tongue.
It's like you watch a little movie, so it's very visual, and it brings some excitement to the Word of God. So no longer you sit down and have to read because you have to read the Word of God, but it's so exciting.
A few miles away, however, the Portmore Holiness Christian Church regards Patois as a poor substitute for English.
There's been fierce opposition to the new Bible from those who regard Patois not as a language in its own right, but as a corrupted form of English and one which hampers Jamaica's development. And many traditionalist Christians also believe that Patois is simply inadequate as a means of conveying the complex narratives of the Bible.
And the church's leader claims Patois has to resort to coarse expressions to get its meaning across.
I don't think the Patois words can effectively communicate some of what the English words have communicated, and primarily because even words that are present in the Patois that we would want to use to fully explain what is really meant in the original are words that are vulgar.
Now, what I find really interesting about this clip is there is someone that says, oh, they didn't find that the Jamaican language was as expressive as the English language to, be used as a means to convey the word of God. Now, having spent some time recently in Jamaica and also been, spending some time among Jamaicans, I can confirm that the Jamaican language is plenty expressive. So I don't know, I found that kind of a moot point. Okay, but if we're going to work off this question, what is the ideal language to pray in, to communicate with your God? Is there an ideal language? And why would that language necessarily be English? I mean, if we look at it, the Bible was originally written in Hebrew and Aramaic. So if we're going to prescribe any language, shouldn't we prescribe those as the first port of call? I don't speak Hebrew or Aramaic. I don't know anyone that does. I don't know if I've met anyone that does speak those languages. And I'm thinking about the Christian population. It would probably discount quite a large proportion of the Christian population who don't speak those languages. So perhaps we shouldn't be prescribing a language. But also it begs the question, if you are going to say, well, English is more expressive, we should make sure that we're praying in English. For me personally, if I was going to pray, I would definitely pray in English as a native speaker. I wouldn't pray in, French or Spanish or Portuguese, despite being, quite proficient in those languages, because I'd feel kind of uneasy, and it's not my native tongue. So I don't know, I feel like there would be something lost there if I was going to use those languages. So, coming back to the Jamaican language now, given that the majority of the population are native speakers of the Jamaican language, it would make sense for them to pray and to worship in your native tongue, because surely you would feel closer to God, or you would feel that you were really expressing yourself, because that's the language that you would have your memories in, that's the language that you would experience things in. So it would be easier to be able to express that in that native tongue, rather than using this language that you acquired later on in life, maybe when you went to school, to be able to pray in. So I found it really interesting. I'm happy for people to disagree with me if you feel the need to. What do you think? Do you think that people should only pray in English? Do you think that the translation of the Bible was a good idea? I don't know. Yeah, I would say put your thoughts on a postcard, but now it's 2016. You can just comment below. Be nice. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what you think. Should people in Jamaica be praying in English?
The angel go to Mary and said to her, Mary, me have news where going to make you well happy. God really, really bless you, and he will walk with you all the time. You don't have to think about that. It's clear. It's obvious.